Hello, this video is going to focus again on adding and subtracting decimals. This video will go over a few problems and also review some common mistakes. The first problem we have today is a word problem. Now, first it says, on Monday and Tuesday, the lake received 14 and 69 hundredths inches of water. If it received 4 and 19 hundredths inches on Monday, how much did it receive on Tuesday? Now, for this problem, I'm actually going to draw a bar model to help us solve this and to help us identify what operation we're going to do. So notice it says on Monday and Tuesday, the lake received 14 and 16 hundredths inches. So I'm going to show that this entire bar is going to show 14 and 69 hundredths. Now I'm also going to show that if it received 4 and 19 hundredths inches on Monday, so we're going to represent this piece as Monday, how much is it going to receive on Tuesday? And this piece is going to be Tuesday. So to find that missing value, I want you to think about what operation you're going to use. To find this missing value, we are going to use subtraction. So we have our whole amount, 14 and 69 hundredths, and we need to find Tuesday, but we have Monday. So I'm going to subtract Monday from the whole to determine my missing piece. So notice as I'm doing this, I'm rewriting this vertically, lining up my decimal point, making sure the digits in my ones place, my tens, my tenths, and my hundredths are all lined up, one on top of each other, just like you were doing yesterday. Now I'm going to start with the digits in my hundredths place. 9 minus 9 is 0, 6 minus 1 is 5, 4 minus 4 is 0, and then 1 minus 0 is just 1. Now again, this is not my final answer. I need to include my decimal point and bring down my decimal point, giving me an answer of 10 and 50 hundredths, or I can also say 10 and 5 tenths inches on Tuesday. Both are my answers. Now for the next problem, it says Billy was making some brownies and cupcakes for a school fundraiser. If the brownies needed 3 and 41 hundredths cups of sugar and the cupcakes needed 1 and 4/10 cups, how much sugar would he need all together? So again, I'm going to draw another bar model just to help me solving this problem. Some of you might have recognized some keywords such as all together, and you might already know exactly what needs to be done. So the brownies here have 3 and 41 hundredths cups of sugar, and we have our cupcakes 1 and 4/10 cups of sugar. Now together, we need to figure out how much they have all together. So notice that that whole that we need to find, and that's our unknown. So to find that and to combine these two amounts, we're going to use addition. Now notice as I'm writing out this addition problem, I'm rewriting these numbers vertically. So I have 3 and 41 hundredths plus 1 and 4/10. Now notice I'm lining everything up again, all my digits in my ones place, my decimal points, my tenths, my hundredths. And I'm actually going to add a 0 here just to make it a little bit easier for me to identify that I have all the digits in my hundredths place. So I have 1 plus 0 is 1, 4 plus 4 is 8. I have my decimal point, and 3 plus 1 is 4. So together, all together, Billy needs 4 and 81 hundredths grams. Now notice again, everything is lined up and you're doing the simple adding or subtracting like you normally do. The only difference is you have to think about where am I going to put my decimal point in my final answer, and before I add and subtract, making sure everything is all lined up. Now, based off of your work from yesterday, everybody did a great job adding and subtracting, but I do want to go over a few common mistakes that I saw, and I think these mistakes will really help you with the work that you're going to be doing today. So for this first one, I have 87 minus 73 and 9/10. Many of you wrote this answer. You subtracted. However, the only problem is you forgot that you cannot do 0 minus 9. You would go into negatives, but we are not doing that in 5th grade. So in this situation, you can't take away 9 from 0. You don't have enough. So you need to borrow. Many of you forgot to borrow and you just simply brought 9 down as your answer. You cannot do that. You have to borrow. So 10 minus 9 is 1. I have my decimal point. 6 minus 3 is 3. And 8 minus 7 is 1, giving me an answer of 13 and 1/10. Many of you made this mistake and you did not borrow. This placeholder 0 is there for a reason. You can add that in for any number that is a whole number and there's no values after it. You can add your decimal point and then add as many zeros after that decimal point as you wish to help you solve this problem. I like to add them regardless if I'm adding or subtracting because it's a good habit. So when you get to these subtraction problems, you don't make these simple mistakes. So do not forget to borrow. Another mistake, many of you guys recognize as adding, very simple addition, but you inputted the wrong digit. And as always, if you have the right answer on your paper, you need to make sure you're inputting the correct answer on the computer. The computer is what is grading it, and even if you're 1 digit off, it will mark the entire problem wrong. So it's very, very important that you check it. Now, here, just like that last problem, I have 21. I have a whole number. I'm going to add my decimal point and a 0 after it, so I have every digit is filled with something in this problem. 8 plus 0 is 8. My decimal point, 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. Now, this person answered 31 and 8/10. They are very, very close. In fact, that digit in the ones place is the only thing that is incorrect. But unfortunately, they will not get any credit for this problem because it is wrong. Even if you wrote this on your paper, but you typed this into the computer, it will still be wrong. You need to check that everything on your paper is exactly what you're typing in on the computer. Many of you were 1 digit off on some of the problems that you got wrong. It is very, very important for you to check your work that you're inputting the correct items. Now the next mistake, this is the most common mistake I saw throughout this entire document. You need to check the operation sign. Are you adding? Are you subtracting? And soon we're going to be multiplying and dividing. So you need to be able to check the operation sign. Here, this person did a great job subtracting. However, it asked for adding. And in fact, if you were to subtract, they even did a great job borrowing. But again, you need to add. Read the problem. Take your time and check the operation sign. When you are adding these together, 7 plus 9 is 9, and 6 plus 5 is 11, giving you 119 and 9/10 as your answer. Check the operation sign. You know what you're doing, but you need to make sure you're answering and reading these problems correctly. And again, another mistake, okay? This time, there's subtraction and this person added. Now, many of you did this, okay? You are subtracting, and again, do not forget to borrow, okay? This is the same thing as the problem previously. You need to be borrowing here. 6 minus 3 is 3, and 8 minus 7 is 1, giving you an answer of 13 and 1/10. Now this person got the correct answer if it was addition, but the problem's asking for subtraction. You need to read these problems and check your work. Now as you're completing today's activities, think about these common mistakes so you do not make them again today.